Hallo Leute, welcome back to Deutsch Flicks, where learning German is faster than scrolling through memes. Now, in our last video, we covered the basics of introducing yourself. Now we know how to tell our name, age, and location where we live in. But conversations don't stop there. Today, we'll dive deeper into talking about the languages we speak, our hobbies, and our professions. Ready? Los geht's. Okay, so we are starting with the question, how many languages do you speak, or what all languages do you speak? So again, we'll have formal and informal set of question. We'll ask the question formally and informally. So for this, we are gonna use the verb sprechen, which means to speak. And the W word that we are going to use will be wie viele. In the last video, we saw that wie means how. And viele will be new word for you. Viele means many. So we'll say wie viele und welche Sprachen. Welche means which. And Sprachen, languages. So we'll ask this question, wie viele und welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? So as you can see, we are having two questions here. We can either talk about how many languages do you speak, and we can also talk about which languages do you speak. Now I want you to think of the informal question. So yeah, pause this video and write down informal question. So informally, we will just conjugate the verb sprechen according to two. So we'll say wie viele und welche Sprachen. Now instead of sie, we'll have two, and we'll conjugate the verb sprechen according to do. Now if you have written spricht here, then this is wrong, because sprechen is irregular verb which belongs to E getting changed to I category. So instead of spricht, we will say spricht. Wie viele und welche Sprachen sprichst du? So we can answer this question by saying ich spreche. Now, how many languages do you speak? In my case, let's take drei. Drei Sprachen. So I speak 3 languages. Now, in order to state the languages, I'm going to use the word nämlich, which means namely, which we use to state something. So, ich spreche 3 Sprachen, nämlich Hindi, and I can say, das ist meine Muttersprache. Das ist meine Muttersprache. Now, Sprache, you know language. Mutter means mother. So, Muttersprache, mother tongue. So, ich spreche 3 Sprachen, nämlich Hindi. Das ist meine Muttersprache. Englisch. So here you need to make sure you're not pronouncing this as English. English is the correct pronunciation. Und ein bisschen Deutsch. I think you can guess the meaning. Ein bisschen means a bit of. But if you're speaking any language fluently, now for that you can use the word fließend. Fließend means fluently. Ich spreche 3 Sprachen, nämlich Hindi, das ist meine Muttersprache, Englisch und ein bisschen Deutsch. And that's how we will answer this question. Okay, now moving on to our next question around hobbies. So we'll have 2 set of questions. Formally we'll ask, informally. And for that we will use the verb machen. Machen means to make or to do. In this case, it will be to do. And we will ask the question, was machen Sie gerne? Was machen Sie gerne? Gerne means gladly. So basically you're asking, what do you do gladly? Was machen Sie gerne? Now pause the video and write the question for 2. So we will just conjugate the verb machen according to do. Was magst du gerne? By the way, you can say gerne or you can also say gern. Up to you. There's no difference between them. There's one more alternative to this question. So you can ask, was sind Ihre Hobbys? Now this is quite literal. What are your hobbies? Was sind Ihre Hobbys? And informally, you'll say, was sind deine Hobbys? Now there are multiple ways of telling your hobbies. So I'll start with the easiest option. You can answer this by saying meine Hobbys sind, and then just tell your hobbies. Zum Beispiel, for example, Reisen, Gitarre spielen, und Fremdsprachen lernen. Fremdsprachen lernen. Now, Sprachen, you already know, languages. Fremdsprachen means foreign languages. So you're saying my hobbies are traveling, playing guitar, and learning foreign languages. As you can see, this is exactly opposite of what we say in English. So in English, verbs come first and then the noun. But in German, it is exactly opposite. Noun comes first and then the verb. So guitar playing. Now this was first possibility. Nummer 1. Second possibility will be that you use the verb mögen, and the way we conjugate this verb with ish is mag. I'll also write that this is mögen verb, which means to like. We will discuss this verb. This is something special in German in some other episode. So That's how this verb is conjugated according to ich. You say ich mag, I like, and then all your hobbies. So I'm just gonna copy paste this thing. Ich mag reisen, Gitarre spielen und Fremdsprachen lernen. So this was second possibility. Now third possibility is that you conjugate these verbs according to ich, and you say ich reise. Now in case of Gitarre spielen, spielen is the verb. I'll conjugate it according to ich, spiele, and then what do you play? Gitarre. Und there's one more hobby, which is Fremdsprachen lernen. Lernen is the verb, so I'll conjugate it according to ich. Und lerne Fremdsprachen. And then at the end, gerne. So you're saying this is something I do gladly. I travel, play guitar, and learn foreign languages gladly. So these were the three possibilities. Now, if those aren't your hobbies, no worries, keine Sorgen. You can pick a few from this list of most common hobbies that came to my mind. Now, I won't go through each and every one in detail, otherwise the video would get too long. Instead, I'll show you how you can practice the pronunciation on your own. Just use the audio pronunciation feature of Leo. So I'll go to Leo and I'll write here zeichnen. I don't know how this word is pronounced. Maybe I might be pronouncing it incorrectly. So I'll write zeichnen. I'll click on the verb zeichnen. Then again on the right hand side, you can see zeichnen. You have to again click on it. Now, in the first section, we have zeichnen means to draw, and then audio pronunciation to draw. We are not interested in English, we are interested in German. You have to scroll a little, then you'll see zeichnen. Now click on this audio pronunciation zeichnen.
Zeichnen.
So you just have to listen to the pronunciation and imitate. Maybe we can take one more. Again, go to search and then write the hobby. Let's say you don't know how to pronounce this word. This is a type of game. So I'll click on this word. Then I have to scroll a little. Then audio pronunciation.
Das Schach.
So we say Schach, which means chess. So Schach spielen is playing chess, could be your hobby. Okay, now this is the list. You can choose your hobby and write it down. Now moving on to next question around profession. So we'll have two set of questions, formal and informal. So formally we'll ask, was machen Sie? Now for hobbies we had gerne. For profession we'll use beruflich. Was machen Sie beruflich? Which means professionally. What do you do professionally? Now there's one more alternative. You can ask, was sind Sie von Beruf? Was sind Sie von Beruf? Von Beruf here it means by profession. What are you by profession? Now pause the video and write the informal version. So we will conjugate the verb machen according to du. We'll say was machst du beruflich. And on the right hand side, we'll conjugate the verb sein according to du. Was bist du von Beruf? Okay, so before we start answering this question, a quick heads up. So in German, most professions have both a masculine as well as a feminine form. So typically you form the feminine version by simply adding in to the masculine one. For example, student means male student and its female version will be Studentin. However, there are some exceptions where the feminine form is completely different. For instance, Krankenpfleger means male nurse and Krankenschwester means female nurse. So while the in rule works in most cases, but it's good to watch out for irregular ones too. So let's answer this question. I can say ich arbeite. Arbeiten means to work. So I have conjugated this verb according to ich. Ich arbeite als Manager bei Amazon. So here comes your designation. Then you have to use the preposition by with the name of the company. Okay, so this is first possibility. Second possibility is that you use the verb sein only. Ich bin, I am, and then say manager by, and then comes the name of the company. So you're saying, I am manager at Amazon. Now female will say managerin. So they have to end the profession with in. Okay, in case you're not a working professional, you can say momentan, which means at the moment. Momentan arbeite ich nicht. At the moment, I'm not working. So if you're not working, you must be student. So you can say ich bin. Now I'll take the female version, Studentin. Und. You must be learning something. Und lerne Deutsch. Or you can say und studiere an der Uni. Now, Uni is the short form for Universität, university. So for professions as well, I have come up with a list of most common ones. So you can pick your profession from this list. And again, if you don't know how to pronounce it, you can go to your Leo dictionary and find out the option for audio pronunciation. So here's how a complete introduction sounds in German. Hallo, mein Name ist Basant. Ich komme aus Indien, aus Delhi. Ich wohne in Hyderabad. Ich bin 26 Jahre alt. Meine Telefonnummer ist 3x9 190 3x9 Ich spreche 5 Sprachen, nämlich Hindi, das ist meine Muttersprache, Englisch, Deutsch und ein bisschen Punjabi und Spanisch. Meine Hobbys sind Gitarre spielen und Fremdsprachen lernen. Ich arbeite als Deutschlehrer bei Deutschflix. Das ist alles. Vielen Dank. Now it's your turn. You have to pause the video and tell me about your profession, hobbies, and languages you speak. And there you have it. Now you can confidently talk about yourself in German. But this is just the beginning. Soon we'll dive into how to keep a conversation going like a native speaker. So if this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And share it with a friend who wants to learn German. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.